ankle injury that ended his season in the playoffs last year. He had 2 surgeries to repair it. All the reports are positive, but mobility is a big part of Bo Nix's game. I want to make sure that he's moving around okay on that ankle.
Jordan, what are you looking for here tonight as he takes the field?
Well, I'd love to see the connection with Jalen Waddle, right? We hear about it in practice. We haven't really seen a ton. We've heard about him burning Patrick Surtain downfield with his speed. I think that's going to be a great addition to this offense.
Movement in the pocket, short area quickness to protect himself. Job number 1 of a quarterback. As you know, Jordan, let's see if he comes back 100% from the injury.
Yeah.
How good does he need to be for them to get to the Super Bowl, given the defense they have and the upgrades they've made on offense?
I mean, as good as he's been, I don't think this is a guy that needs to elevate his game beyond where it was last year. If he's healthy, they may well beat the Patriots at home in the AFC Championship game last year. So they've built a great team around him. They're strong in the trenches. They get Jalen Waddle to elevate the passing game. There's really they had a great record of 1-score games last year, which always corrects. So that's the concern. But you look at their roster, there's nothing not to like.
Division, do you like him to overtake Kansas City and the Chargers here?
No, I like the Chargers. I think if the Chargers offensive line...
Shocking.
Yeah, I know.
Someone's got to do it every year.
Yeah, but
what could go wrong?
Yeah. Look, if this offensive line could just cobble together, and hopefully it does, we'll see what happens with Slater. I think Justin Herbert is protected. He has the most ability of anybody in that division.
The YPA for Nix was something to be not concerned about, but he wasn't taking a lot of shots down the field. Looks like Waddle's going to solve that.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the one thing. You add a guy that fits exactly what you want to be able to do. Stretch the field vertically, ball in hand type creative plays. So I love that addition for sure.
Justin Herbert has the most ability of any quarterback in that division.
I think this year his ceiling is higher because Patrick Mahomes is coming off of an injury.
Solely because of the knee?
Yeah, I absolutely. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be great again. I don't think it's going to happen in the first half of the season. Justin Herbert to me.
Amazing how quickly.
I just wanted to clarify.
Going back to that.
Like the best player we've ever seen plays in that division. That's not.
Excellent follow-up. The reporter and Dan Graziano. Mike T, back to you. What are you going to be watching for from Cam Ward this weekend, the second-year quarterback out of Miami?
Accuracy. Come on, Cam. I love you.
Man.
You were 5 of 12 in your first preseason game. That's 41%. That is awful. He's way too talented. They have way too much ability on this team. I expected it'll be a lot better this weekend. Brian Daboll, the new offensive coordinator, former Giant head coach, I am sure will put him in a position to get some easy completions to get this offense going.
Braz, anything you need to see from Cam Ward when he takes the field Sunday night?
Yeah, I mean, just piggybacking on what Mike T said, I was doing NFL Live with Orlovsky yesterday, and this was his point. Like, can Cam Ward make the easy throws? These are throws he shouldn't be missing, even in a new offense that he's still learning. So the performance has to be better. There needs to be a baseline that they can build off of. He had a strong finish to last year, but what we saw last week was discouraging.
Is Tennessee doing enough to put him in the best possible position to succeed?
Well, I think so. I like the hire of Brian Daboll, and I think he's going to get the best out of him. But to that point, when you see the inaccurate throws, you get a guy that for a long time in his career depended on having a generational type arm talent. So his feet didn't have to be perfect. He could be a little late on some throws. You saw some of those highlights. He was way late over the middle of there, almost threw an interception. His feet are all over the place on some of those shorter throws, which is why those balls are a little errant. So I just want to see him look more comfortable and be more in rhythm, and I think the accuracy will get there. But, yeah, you need to see it right there. You can't miss a ball like that high. I mean, you can't do that in high school, let alone the NFL. This one, I don't mind. You're trying to fit a tight window throw in there to Carnell Tate. Don't really mind that. But, again, you just don't feel like he's in rhythm at times.
He took a lot of sacks last season. Is it possible he's a little skittish back there?
Absolutely. That can happen. I can play into it for sure.
All right, Jordan, let's stick with you. The quarterback battle in Cleveland is another one to keep an eye on. What do you want to see out of Shedeur Sanders this weekend?
2 things. I want to see a little more urgency in his drops and decision makings. Then I don't want to see these WTF plays. Like, what just happened on that throw, right? It slipped. It didn't slip. He's got to avoid the head-scratching plays that seemingly happen at least once or twice a game for him that you're like, okay, yeah, I'm not sure this guy can be the franchise quarterback. Because I do believe he can be. It's just plays like this that I think guys in the locker room and maybe the fan base loses a little faith when they see a little more consistency out of a guy like Deshaun Watson. So more urgency and less of those WTF plays.
Braz, any updates on this quarterback battle as it stands today?
No, it's still just kind of really sad. Like, it's sad. Deshaun Watson's probably the favorite, but my sense of it is that I don't think Deshaun Watson has played well enough or practiced well enough that Shedeur Sanders couldn't come back and make this interesting with a stellar performance this weekend. I just feel like stellar is is further and further away from the range of possibilities here. If the Browns, whoever they settle on, quarterback is not going to be the strength of this team. They're going to have to win around the quarterback with some of the pieces they've drafted, which a lot of them look really good, and a rebuild offensive line. But I would guess it's Watson unless Sanders just goes crazy this weekend.
Not who will be, who should be the starting quarterback in Cleveland this year.
Shedeur Sanders. What are we doing here? Look, if you go back and watch about Colorado, he can make all the throws. It hasn't been perfect, as Jordan alluded to. He can get better. He has the right size. He has ability. Deshaun Watson, guys, we got to sign up in our facility. In God we trust. For everyone else, we need data. Tell me the data of a guy that's played in 19 games in 6 years, who tore his Achilles tendon twice and came back and played at a high level in 17 games. And, oh, by the way, he's going to be a free agent. There is no way that Deshaun Watson fits into this organization, short-term or long-term. Go with Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston, put Shedeur out there, and let's see what we got.
Final word, how alarming would it be if Shedeur can't win this battle?
I don't think it's alarming because I think you still expect a guy like Deshaun Watson to be a higher floor at this point. But to Mike T's point, playing Deshaun Watson does nothing for the Browns' future. So, in my opinion, he shouldn't be on the field because shy of winning a Super Bowl, he's not coming back. So what does it do for your future to not figure out if Shedeur Sanders is the guy, or if Dylan Gabriel? Oh, by the way, you drafted Taylor Green as well. You drafted 3 quarterbacks in the last 2 years, and you really still don't know enough about any of them, and you have 2 more first-round picks next year. The answer is not Deshaun for a bridge year because you learn nothing about the future.
Certainly an opportunity for Shedeur to continue to prove the naysayers wrong after he slid in the draft. Put together, and the offense that didn't come through last season, what's at stake for Stroud this year?
His long-term future in Houston. He's got 3 years in, which means he's eligible for an extension, and he didn't get one. The Houston Texans are a team that is as aggressive as any team in the league in terms of doing veteran extensions with their stars as soon as they can. The fact that C.J. Stroud doesn't have one yet indicates that the organization wants to see more from him. The way last season ended was unacceptable. His performance, honestly, in both playoff games, even the one they won, it needs to be better. They believe they've built, obviously they have the defense. They believe they've built a group around him to help him succeed. They have had one of the worst, if not the worst, run games in the league over the first 3 years of C.J. Stroud's career. You saw Woody Marks. You didn't see David Montgomery. They feel like they've put together a real run game for him this year. C.J. Stroud, it's not fair. He's been to the second round of the playoffs every year of his career. There are a lot of quarterbacks that have not accomplished what he's accomplished. No. They have higher hopes than that if he doesn't deliver on them this year, and it ends like last year did. They're going to have to ask themselves, is this the guy we want to commit to moving forward?
Feels a little bit, operative phrase, for the situation in Philadelphia. They're giving you a great defense. They're trying to build up the running game, put some weapons around you, not asking you to go out and win it like Patrick Mahomes would have to do for the Chiefs. Going out there and asking you to operate within the structure and not lose the football game. You made an interesting point this morning when we were talking about how waiting for an extension could actually serve both parties here.
Joe, it's a very unique situation because rarely do you see both sides potentially benefiting. So if you're Houston, as you guys have alluded to, we're talking about a historically great defense. They have loaded up at all 3 levels, unquestionably a top 2 or 3 defense. And you're saying, okay, can we put Davis Mills in there? Can we put a B-minus quarterback in there and pay them $20, $30, $35 million a year and win and have a representative chance to go to the Super Bowl? If I'm C.J. Stroud, if that number doesn't begin with a 6, meaning $60 million or more, why should I take less than all these other young emerging quarterbacks? To Graz's point, his body of work probably doesn't justify it yet. If I'm him, I'm probably going to bet on myself this year.
Jordan, final word. You went back and watched the playoff game against New England last year. What did you see?
Yeah, I think the issue is not ability with C.J. Stroud. It's between the ears. I think he needs to realize he doesn't have to be a top 5 quarterback for this team to reach the Super Bowl with that defense. And when you go back and watch every interception from this game, one was tipped, not his fault. The other 3 that were his fault, all on first down. All moments where he forced throws that he didn't need to, whether because he was late or trying to force a throw right there. The play is dead. Don't make a bad play worse. That's what he did right there. I think he felt the pressure of the elite defense, of the window that they had. I think he tried to play outside of his means. He doesn't need to do that this year. The run game can be better. Second year in this system will help. I think between the ears is where the growth needs to happen because he'll be just fine.
As our resident quarterback, I want you to take a look at this and explain this to us. This is Stroud's warm-up before the preseason game last night.
You know, a lot of people stretch their hammies. You know, they stretch out the back, they loosen up. You got to stretch the optic nerve, too. You got to get those eyes loosened up to read all 53 1/3. That field is wide. It's tall as well. Those receivers are tall. You got to get the eyes going. I think Stroud's always been the kind of guy, he likes to warm up with a basketball. He likes to get the eye workout in before. He's always pushed the envelope with getting the body ready.
Is this how you warm up before writing a column?
Yeah, or a show. Like, you didn't see me.
You do it like the finger stretches, like you're really just.
I mean,
absolutely.
every part of my body is tight. Maybe my optic nerve isn't the one. Isn't the one that...
Let's let that lay right there, because there's a developing story that we're going to want to pay attention to in San Francisco, which will trend us